my question is, recently rapper T.I. made a post stating that if the community votes for you guys, that there will be decriminalization of marijuana. What is your stance on the criminalization of weed?
I'm fully supportive.
Okay.
There's no question that the enforcement has done a whole lot of damage in many instances, as much as that particular substance. Yes, I support the decriminalization.
Great. We have Laura from The Current. You can go ahead.
Hey there. I just wondered how y'all think the pandemic would be handled differently with the Democrats.
I think you need not look any further than what's been happening over the last few months. Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue have had months to do something about COVID relief, and they've done nothing. And now that we're close to an election, they're threatening to do something. But what we heard out of Mitch McConnell's mouth apparently the other day was that the concern was we might need to do something because we're worried about what might happen to Kelly and David. I think Georgians deserve somebody thinking about what will happen to Georgians.
Yeah, it has been 8 months since the United States Senate passed any meaningful relief for working people and small businesses. 8 months. Small businesses have been operating at 20 or 30% capacity. Millions of people have lost jobs or homes. Businesses on the brink. Where has the United States Senate been? Not only have both of our U.S. senators been enriching themselves in office, at the same time they've been blocking relief for the very people who pay their salaries and whom they're supposed to fight for in the U.S. Senate. Our U.S. senators should be giving speeches on the floor of the Senate right now and every day for the last 8 months, demanding more help for the people of this state. And I look forward to working with Reverend Warnock in the United States Senate to deliver the economic relief that the people of Georgia need and deserve.
WTOC, you can go ahead.
So you guys sent a pretty clear message, obviously, to voters. What is your message? What is that message as people head to the polls, rather for early voting or the day of?
It is nearly impossible to overstate the stakes of this election. Healthcare is on the ballot. And in Georgia, when you look at the health outcomes, the hospitals that are closing, 500,000 Georgians who are in the Medicaid gap, 1.8 million Georgians who have pre-existing conditions who could lose their coverage. We need Georgians to vote like their lives depend on it because they actually do. The good news is that in America we have elections, and the people of Georgia get a chance to decide who will represent them in the United States Senate. We did an amazing thing on November 3rd. Much of the country did not think it would happen. They didn't see Georgia coming. But our message to Georgians is that the job is not finished. You've got to come back out in this moment so that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can do the work that they need to do. If they are not supported by 2 senators from Georgia, Mitch McConnell will do to them what he did to Barack Obama. He exercises power primarily through obstruction. And so if you want COVID relief that centers the concerns of workers, if you want to make sure that people with pre-existing conditions have health coverage, if you want to make sure that we pass voting rights and criminal justice reform, and that we have in the United States Senate senators who understand the concerns of ordinary people, you need to vote in this defining moment.
And just one more. All eyes are oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll take the next question. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, so all eyes obviously are on Georgia. So if elected, what will that mean for the people?
Well, we are here to urge the people of Savannah to participate, to vote. The polls are open right now. The message couldn't be clearer or more simple. Make a plan to vote. Don't wait to January 5th. We can achieve so much. We can reopen rural hospitals. We can make healthcare affordable and accessible for every family. We can invest in infrastructure and jobs. We can advance criminal justice reform to secure equal justice, but only if everybody participates in this historic moment and makes their voices heard. And we will then send a message that rings out about what Georgia stands for.
Thank you.
Caroline?
All right, this is a question for both of you. I know you, Reverend Warnock, are running against Senator Loeffler, but if you both want to answer, that'd be great. Loeffler and her campaign put out an open letter this morning to the Jewish community after a number of rabbis yesterday condemned what they say are your past history, your history of anti-Israel comments. I'm just wondering what you have to say about that and what's your message to the Jewish community?
I am, as I've always been, a strong ally of Israel and someone who has worked closely with the Jewish community and who understands the importance of the Black Jewish coalition historically and currently in the fight for justice. And the relationships that I have all across this state attest to that commitment. All the work that I've done has been based on multi-faith coalitions, and that's the work that I will continue to do. I think it's unfortunate that Kelly Loeffler is trying to turn Israel into a wedge issue. Israel needs bipartisan support, and it should not be caught up in this kind of partisan game that she's playing. I'm grateful for the relationships that I have across the Jewish community, and I'm grateful to be running alongside John Ossoff. This ticket is a testament to that continuity that we have seen over the decades. I do think that it is interesting that Kelly Loeffler keeps accidentally taking selfies with former leaders of the KKK, that she has accepted the support of QAnon conspiracy theorists, and that she sat down with, for an interview, with a known white supremacist. I don't know why she keeps doing this. My mom used to tell me that birds of a feather flock together. I think she should ask herself why people like leaders of the Ku Klux Klan, for whatever reason, are drawn to her message and her campaign. I intend to continue to try to pull people together to focus on the work of COVID-19 relief and healthcare. That's what we do.
Reverend Warnock and I stand for interfaith dialogue, love, and cooperation on behalf of people. I denounce, as a Jewish candidate for office, Kelly Loeffler's absurd, ridiculous accusations. I call upon Kelly Loeffler to apologize publicly for campaigning alongside Klansmen. And I call upon David Perdue to give the apology he's never given to Georgia's Jewish community for running anti-Semitic attack ads that lengthened. If Kelly Loeffler is looking for anti-Semitism in this Senate race, she need look no further than David Perdue and the Klansmen with which she is campaigning.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Wait, I have a question
today.
for Georgia Public Broadcasting. Just a quick question to Reverend Warnock. Thank you, by the way. Reverend Warnock, the Black church has been the centerpiece of the American Civil Rights Movement. And recently, they've also been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. What are your thoughts to re-engage the Black evangelical community, especially in the rural areas?
You're right that the church has had a lot of influence in our community. And I think with that influence comes responsibility. And so I've tried to model, as a pastor, what we should be doing in this moment. And so at the beginning of the COVID challenge, we've been saying throughout that my faith has no quarrel with science. We want to listen to the scientists on this. And we ought to be socially distancing, washing our hands, wearing a mask. We know it works. And now that we have a vaccine, which our scientist tells us works and is effective and safe, we ought to take the vaccine. And I intend to take it as soon as it's available. And I would encourage people in my community to take the vaccine and to do all the things that are necessary to stay healthy.
Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank you
thanks
very
everyone
much.
for coming out. Appreciate it.
Got it.